Hello, my name's Dan, and this is my board gaming time capsule. Now then, no one really knows what's going to happen in the future, but what we do know is that eventually nations and governments are going to crumble, and the corporations are going to take over society. These corporations will jostle and compete for dominance until one will rise to the top and obliterate or absorb all the rest to become the overlords of all humanity. And I'm pretty sure I know which one that's going to be. The Disney Corporation. Think about it. Back in the 70s and 80s, Disney was a small but important part of our childhood. We loved the movies, we fantasised about going to the theme parks, and we puzzled over how a mouse was able to own a dog. But we had other things to focus on, other pop culture to consume. However, just spend a moment and consider who owns your childhood memories now. Spider-Man? Disney. The Muppets? Disney. Star Wars? Disney. The only treasured memory I've got left that Disney doesn't own is that time my sister had an allergic reaction to being stung by a wasp and her head swelled up like a balloon. Oh, happy days. It's my belief that Disney aren't going to stop at taking over our childhoods. They're going to want to take over our adult hobbies too. There's already evidence that this is happening. Just look at the recent rumours that Disney are going to take over Hasbro and Asmodee. Now granted, those rumours were started by me, just now. However, you've got to admit they were credible. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if the Disney Corporation made a bid to take over the Dice Tower. I can see it now. They'd rebrand it to fit their Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs franchise. We'd have Snow White, Happy, Grumpy, Baldy, Bashful, Punny, Goofy, and of course, Cretin. So what can we do about it? What can we do to stop Disney taking over the world? Well, probably nothing. Yes, we could send someone back in time to try and stop Walt Disney ever founding the corporation. However, those type of shenanigans tend to get really convoluted. And they also tend to spawn increasingly poor sequels. And quite frankly, it's not worth the bother. No, we just need to accept our new corporate overlords. And with that in mind, we need to prepare the people of the future to love all things Disney. And that's why this week we'll be putting this game, the X-Wing Miniatures game, into our board gaming time capsule. The X-Wing Miniatures game is a tactical ship-to-ship combat game where players take control of a small squadron of fighter ships from the Star Wars universe. It's very good at simulating the exciting twists and turns of dogfighting in small fighter spaceships, and it's also very good at extracting large amounts of money from your wallet. Yeah, sure, you can tell yourself you're only going to stick with the base set, but those expansions can be very Moorish. I really enjoy playing X-Wing, however, I'm absolutely terrible at it. But to be fair, in order to be good at the game, you have to have a number of qualities that I just don't possess. Firstly, in order to move your ships around the board, you need spatial awareness. But also, if you want to be really good, you need to be willing to make this a lifestyle game. The meta is so deep and complex, and there's so many combos, builds and strategies that a casual player just has no chance against someone who dedicates a large amount of their gaming energy to it. You can get around this a little bit by blatantly stealing other people's squadron builds from the internet in order to stomp all over people who up to then thought you were their friend. Paul Newsome. However, that takes away some of the fun and the escapism of the game, which brings me on to the main reason that I'm rubbish at X-Wing. In order to build a really effective squadron, you have to be willing to throw the Star Wars theme out of the window a little bit. You need to be prepared to have Darth Vader flying with a squadron of First Order TIE fighters, or have Poe Dameron team up with Porkins, stuff that would never happen in the films. You need to do whatever makes your build the strongest, not the most thematic. And that's just not a leap I'm willing to take. As Yoda so memorably said, I will not make it so. However, all that being said, if you're playing against someone who's at the same level as you and not cheating, Paul Newsome, then this game is a joy and very worthy of being put into our time capsule. For example, I play this game all the time with my son Evan, and we're very evenly matched.
My dad is very good at X-Wing.
So all that's left to do is to pop the X-Wing Miniatures game into the board gaming time capsule. Now, just in case you're wondering, I've already put the miniatures in there already, so I don't need to bother out tipping them in. I'll just check for you though. Yep, they're definitely in there.